tell me real quickly, you might have touched on it. What was the toughest part at coaching at Shen at a school like that?
It's wonderful that it takes me a second to think about it, um, because I'll be honest with you, it's been I've been blessed. I just no, like I think any tough part about coaching at Shen over the last 16 years is just stuff I put on. Parents have been really good. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. Listen, I've never had an expectation that a parent should side with me over your kid, or if I cut your son from the team. I never have that expectation. I say this to younger coaches: don't have an expectation that a parent's going to take. If a father or mother is not going to be the biggest fan of their own kid, who's going to be the biggest fan of that kid? So I've always been with parents. My athletic director has been very supportive. I'm not an easy person. I've said this to really appreciate everything you've done for me. There are times he's patted me on the back, and he's also kicked me in the rump a couple times and said, "Hey, you have to recalibrate." We get passionate about what we do, and sometimes you get after kids. Sometimes your expectations may be a little higher than they may be for 15, 16, 17, sometimes 18-year-old kids, and it's high school basketball. So he's been great. I've been blessed. My two sons, coaching Jake was great. And Jake Dzikas is now 21, believe it or not. I know you guys covered a couple of his games. He's 21 now.
Wow.
It's amazing. I know. Older. I'm saying the same age, fellas. I don't know how that's happening. But he's a great kid. That was we talk about this all the time, and I'll be open and honest about it. And I think him was really difficult. I mean, we just had different personalities. He would like to set me off a little bit, and he knew just what buttons to press to do that. But coaching him, but we get along so great that you can't take anything back. I was a little tougher on him. I learned some lessons from a father standpoint, coaching Jake. Zekas is one of the kindest, best-hearted young men I know, and I'm proud to say that. He must get that from his mother, because I don't know if you say that about me, fellas. Devin was obviously a real pleasure to coach, and he could be tough and aggressive on the court, and coach my own sons has even turned in retrospect a really great thing. And I think I learned a lot of lessons, and the toughest part is very timely. You have to commit. There are sacrifices that need to be made. And that's probably the only thing that I would say, guys, that you guys know this, you guys coach. If you're going to coach, I remember Bill Scanlon, Hall of Fame coach at Union. I talked to him after my first year, and he's, one thing coaching's going to do, Tony, it's going to thicken your skin. It's going to, things aren't going to bother you as much after you do this for a number of years. And I'll be honest with you, there comes where it just rolls off your back, and part of you after a while you start to, and that's maybe the wrong word to use, enjoy, but when you're being criticized that you're actually doing something. The only people who don't get criticized in this world are people being active and doing stuff and putting themselves out there and putting themselves in front of people so people can judge them. And that's what we do as coaches. You get out there Tuesday, Fridays, you get out there in a state championship game. Every single time you get out there, you walk that sideline and people are judging the moves you're making. Why haven't you taken this guy out? Why are you still playing this guy? To get a thicker skin. And after a while, you even start to, and I remember speaking at an administrator's conference. They had a bunch of students there. And one thing I talked about was, you better start to be a CEO of a company. If you want to be a coach, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to do anything where you have a position of leadership, you will be judged. And as long as you can say, I did the best job I could, acknowledge your mistakes and learn from them, then, you have to accept it, and you'll learn to live.